course there's a chicken. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. That is a baby with a goatee, homie. That is incredible. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Welcome back. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food and another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy? Both, perhaps? Now you've got him right where you want it. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret just for you? You revealed it to us, we can reveal it to him. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' looks. Either way. Magnificent. Now we're still in the bird territory. There's a chicken right behind him. Magnificent. Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. Holy fuck. This must be where he keeps his secret recipe. Think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? Tap on an item to discover more. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and the mustache combo he sports, you figured that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's a drumstick that he seems to be waving around like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of themselves? Probably the same type of person who will make their own face the logo of the company they founded, am I right? Tap on an item to discover more. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt? Maybe this is where he discovered one of the secret herbs and spices. Oh. We'll do that one last. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks. and appear to be cheersing them. You look closely and see there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. Take a closer look at the large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. Scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in the lake? Summer of '69. No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's... A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the coon. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery in color. It's actually made of spun silver. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into a world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack, and swept out. The ghost of student is swept out with a breeze. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize that it isn't just realistic. It's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on. He wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. So I will touch anything in a man's house. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket! You forgot to take it off. You fess up and tell the truth. You confess, I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door, but the thought of leaving the Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Pico Pico? I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. Zzz. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about a new secret ingredient that you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Flattered. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion, confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend's there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, I was just... Now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him, you'd better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful, not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving as if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Miriam tells you to move on from this whole Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on school. If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, you don't want to be right. And after a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'm gonna take a moment to enjoy some tea. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dipped too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at the school. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick us on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Pico Pico, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my word, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. She's not Japanese, this game isn't accurate. Listen. Can you check if the... Can you check if his teacher was a dog? A talking corgi? Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrived just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something's been going on. Ah, an empath. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Pico Pico, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fine form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, girl? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? And what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. It's a lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Pico Pico, I'm more than capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Pico Pico. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slightly you feel about that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spellbook you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, what's that book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? Well, I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered in arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use the spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else, not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. No, I do not want to take the memories that I made with Colonel Sanders away. Take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up as he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give him a snack. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles the sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken rawhide. I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much in this world satisfies like ungraded work. My, Pico Pico, were you studying something with cinnamon? I've been sitting in on a lecture series around the art of cake baking. How insightful. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Pico Pico, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, before I can go on any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by words and spark coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class. You think I wanted to be thrown off from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you have to show off to your cool kid friends, Jeff and Joan. J and J forever. Watch us form a triangle midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Bzz, bzz. Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Beeper. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep, bzz. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate, but we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam, TMCR. The colonel has a college degree from LaSalle Extension University. No word on a teacher yet. Alright. I appreciate the digging. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure. So you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through this final test at the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe sort of, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Alright, I had the sparkles to the girl's wiki, now it's a fact. Thank you. Doing God's work, Metal Cows. Well, some work anyway. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup, and I bet that Professor Dog is going to love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend that time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it. The location of your final challenge, a test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on, Pico Pico's famous kitchen pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Pico Pico, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually be happy to share your food with anyone who was hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. You know what? I do have a dish. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was going to be a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? No, I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. It'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. Maybe the Colonel wants a ladder pico, oil, and various spices and herbs. 11 spices and herbs. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. And I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Thanks for watching. This video was not sponsored by KFC. However, if you liked the game and you want to play it yourself, it's on Steam. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell for more notifications. I stream 5 days a week. The schedule's in the description. Have a great day. Homie kisses. Mwah.